But we have to realize that we're in a time now that we have to total rely on God's timing. Even when things may seem rocky to us or things may not seem sure to us, but we have to rely on God's timing, knowing that God will never fail us. God says He's with us into the ends of the world, and so we have to rely on God's timing. I got a couple scriptures I'm gonna read um out of the King James version about God's timing. The first scripture I know a lot of y'all are familiar with is Ecclesiastes 3:1. It says, "To everything there is a season, a time to every purpose under the earth, under the heavens." I'm gonna read that again. Ecclesiastes 1. To everything there is a season, a time to every purpose under the heavens. And just in that scripture, it's telling us that it's a time for everything. Even in the natural realm, there's a time frame that God has placed on the earth in the natural realm. There's spring, there's summer, there's fall, there's winter, and in spring there's a time frame. In summer there's a time frame. In the fall there's a time frame. In winter there's a time frame. Everything happened in the order that God placed it in. We can't make we right now we are in summer, and we can't make winter come any faster because God got a set time when winter comes. A lot of us may not like the summer, so we want winter because we may like the cold, but we can't say, okay, winter, come on, it's cold. I want cold, come right now. Even though sometimes we want things to work in our timing, but it doesn't. We work it all plans and everything is planned out by the hand of God. And sometimes we have to realize that our timing is not God's timing. And so that's why I want to just encourage you today to trust God's timing, trust the process, trust what God is putting you through in this moment. We may not understand why we in the place that we in, or the situation that we may be in, or why this happened or why that happened. We may not understand it all the time, but know that we are in the plan of God. Know that if we stay in the divine will of God, everything will and line up and come out the way we should come out in our life. Just trusting in God's plan, and that's the key. Trusting in God's timing, because God's timing means everything. Everything. God's timing means everything. I'm gonna read this another scripture, and it's Psalms 27:14.